Hey guys, today in this video I'm going to be bringing you my Raidraptor deck profile for post-Alliance Insight, post-Stampede and post-ban list, because I haven't done one of these since the ban list. So only minor changes, but still changes nonetheless. So we're on 3 copies of Tribute Lanius, 3 copies of Bloom Vulture, 3 copies of Strangle Lanius, 3 copies of Fuzzy Lanius, 3 copies of Samorg, then we're on 2 copies of Raider's Wing, 1 copy of Noir, 1 copy of Mimicry, 1 copy of Heal Eagle. So, Tribute Lanius is the best starter in the deck. It's also the only 1-card starter in the deck. Opening Bloom Vulture and Raider's Wing, probably second best, if not better, than opening Tribute Lanius, because that just means that you get your instant Raider's Knight and it's untargetable. But really any Bloom Vulture plus any of these aside from Samorg is full combo. Strangle Lanius is probably one of the best extenders in the deck as well. It's just if you control a dark monster, special summon it, and then it also allows you to special summon a dark monster from the grave, which is good. 3 copies of Fuzzy, it's just another extender. Samorg, another extender. Raider's Wing, it's kind of dead, that's why I don't have it at 3. You need to open it with an extender, so you need to open it with Bloom, Strangle, Fuzzy, or Samorg. Otherwise it's just kind of dead in your hand. 1 copy of Noir. I've seen a lot of people run it at 3, but I personally don't like it at 3, because that also means that you need to run a copy of Pain Lanius, and I just don't like Pain Lanius. 1 copy of Mimicry Lanius. I thought about running it at 2, but I like 1. And then 1 copy of Heal Eagle. You only need 1. You don't really want to see it because it's a level 3. So unless you open Fuzzy and Heal Eagle, you don't really want to see it in your hand at all. And that's it for the main deck monsters. Moving on to the spell and trap cards, we've got 1 copy of Skip Force, 1 copy of Rise Rank Up Magic Raidraptor's Force, and then 3 copies of Revolution Force. And we got 1 copy of Roost and 1 copy of Glorious Bright. Skip Force is needed in mainline combo to go from Brave Strix into Arsenal Falcon. This is used to summon your big boy twice, and it's on your opponent's turn, allows you to blow up their field via the big boy. 3 copies of Revolution Force. I don't often see this played in other deck profiles, but it's definitely a main deck 3 of, at least in my opinion, since the cross-out limit to 1, because it just allows you to dodge an Imperm or an Ogre or a Veiler, or for some reason if your opponent's on a Ghost Mourner. It just allows you to dodge. So, say, summon Raider's Knight, activate Raider's Knight, your opponent chains one of those annoying things, okay, chain Revolution Force, and then you still get into your Brave Strix. So it's kind of like a pseudo copy of Crossout, I suppose, but it's specific to the deck. Need 1 copy of Roost and 1 copy of Glorious Bright. This is just recursion, shuffle 3, draw 1. This is an Omni Negate, not much else to be said really. It allows you, you can banish it from grave and then add a Raidraptor from, I believe it's only graveyard. There's banished or in grave, so you can add one of your banished as well. So that just allows for more recursion. Then we're on 1 copy of Callby, 1 copy of Crossout, and 1 copy of Talents. Just a 3 of that's in probably every deck. It's just a good 3 of to play, because this card's busted. This card, well, for Raidraptor you kind of need it, because like if you get stopped, you get stopped, unfortunately. And Call by the Grave, again, you just don't want to be interrupted by hand traps as much as you can. So you run those 3 of. And for the hand trap lineup, we're on 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Fualos, 3 copies of Droll, and 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Ash Blossom, just a good generic hand trap. Fualos is nutty, because it kind of either forces your opponent to either end their turn, or you just gain card advantage. which is probably like the problem with Raidraptor, which is like, you get stopped and you don't have an extender in hand, that's it, you're done. But for us, if your opponent decides to play into it, you are at least getting the opportunity to see more extenders or some form of interruption to stop them or keep your plays going. So it's just nutty. It's also a level 4 winged beast, so you can use it to make 4 Strix. 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird. What can I say? It is just a busted card. It stops Mitsurugi in its tracks. It's just a very good card. And then 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Just again, same as Ash Blossom, a very good generic hand trap. So that's it for the hand trap lineup, and that's it for the main deck. So onto the extra deck. We're on 2 copies of Strix, 2 copies of Raiders Knight, 2 copies of 4 Strix, 1 copy of Evil Swarm Nightmare, 1 copy of Brave Strix, 1 copy of Stranger Falcon, 1 copy of Arc Rebellion, 1 copy of Arsenal Falcon, 1 copy of Ultimate Falcon, 1 copy of Final Fortress Falcon, and then 2 copies of Rising Rebellion Falcon. You need the 2 Strix to either A, keep playing if for some reason your game goes for multiple turns, or if you open just Fuzzy Lanius and Heal Eagle, you need the second Strix, unfortunately. 2 copies of Raiders Knight, just to... You only use 1 in the combo, but c'est la vie, if you get stopped and you get another turn, then you need a second copy. 2 copies of 4 Strix, just one is, well, they both search, it's not like it's soft once per turn, so you can use both of them in the same turn. And then, yeah, you use those to summon these guys. Evil Swarm Nightmare is just a good endboard piece that you can stick on. The only limit to it is if you've used Fuzzy Lanius in the turn, because that locks you into only Raidraptors. But Evil Swarm Nightmare is just a good 2 Book of Moon in 1 turn, which kind of hinders Malice a little bit, because you can't link off with face-down monsters. 1 copy of Brave Strix, because you need that in the mainline combo to search out your Skip Force. 1 copy of Stranger Falcon. You could also run this as a second copy of Brave Strix, but I just have Stranger Falcon in here as just another... It's kind of like a toolbox kind of thing, you know, like it just helps you get rid of a card on board. And then, like, I don't know, in a time scenario, it also burns your opponent for damage, which helpful. If you're up against Dinomorphia, okay, you win. Then 1 copy of Arc Rebellion. It's just a good going second card. Summon it, detach material. You've got a massive ass beat stick, and you wallop them in the face and win. Arsenal Falcon, needed a mainline combo. Special summons a Raidraptor from the main deck, and then when it goes to grave, it summons one from the extra deck as well, so it's busted. Ultimate Falcon, it's just another towers, it's good towers, and it also has a ignition Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity effect. Final Fortress Falcon, I'm not a massive fan of playing, but you kind of need it to help you play around Bestials, which unfortunately are very popular because they're very good. But Final Fortress Falcon is used to help you play around Bestials, and then 2 copies of Rising Rebellion Falcon. These are both on your end board, and they blow up your field and burn your opponent for damage equal to the destroyed monster's life points, attack points, sorry. So, very good, and they're both towers, so can't go wrong with a 3-tower end board, unless they have a Rasphere mode. But that's it for the extra deck, and that's the end of the deck profile, guys. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!